back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back.
Oh, good morning. What or day, wherever you might be. Tuesday. Well, can we talk about Chandler's lighting today? What's going on here?
I'm in my hotel room in Detroit, Michelle. What do you want from me?
I need a little smiles on that sentence. Let's do that again. I'm in my hotel room in Detroit.
I don't know if it's going to rain or if it's going to snow, but listen, I'm out of here in 30 minutes. Can we just get the show rolling, please?
Okay, oh, yeah. Oh, because that's how time works. Yes. Lou, hello, sir, and happy Tuesday to you.
Good morning. How are you doing?
All right, yeah. Well, I'm good. We got important hoops on tonight, guys. And I've gotten to the point, yes, where I'm calling it important hoops because it's NBA Cup Day, numero tres. And a big game kicking things off. The undefeated, just like we predicted, Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Celtics in Boston. This is going to be a fun one. It's the first game, the big name of the night. Fourth team to start a season 15-0. That's it for Cleveland right now. And Kenny Atkinson called them for this a test to see if the Cavs really belong among the best. I've seen some conversations where it was like, if they win against Boston, then we can start to actually talk about them as far as contenders, which I found interesting considering it seems like winning this many in a row seems like a big deal, Chandler, but here we are. Is it true? Is it this game that's going to determine who these Cleveland Cavaliers are?
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's still just one game in November, but this is a big game. And this is a test for, I think, both teams. Obviously, everyone knows about the Boston Celtics. Everyone knows and respects them as the defending champs. That's the team that they have to go through. And on the flip side, nobody was really talking about the Cleveland Cavs this preseason. And now they're on the cusp of making history. They're the hottest team. They're starting 15-0. They made the adjustment as the head coach, and they seem to be playing free and happy. So this is kind of the up-and-coming team, and the Celtics, it's a huge statement game for them to kind of let them know early, listen, come June, there's no way that you're beating me 4 times in a row. There's no way you're getting me in a series. So I do think this is a big game. Shows you kind of where everyone thinks the Cavs stand as the odds maker, how they're 5.5-point underdogs as a 15-0 team. So it kind of shows you right there, kind of where everyone thinks that they are, the discrepancy between the two. But listen, this is a big-time game. We know how cool the NBA Cup and how intense these games have been. So the fact that we get the 2 hottest teams, the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference in the same bracket is a real treat. But it's a big game for both.
I'm excited for this one, Lou. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with Kenny. This is going to be a test, even though up to this point, they've had quality wins already in this season. They're proving that they're a competitor and they're looking to be one of those challengers that's going to come out of the East, that's going to challenge Boston for that top spot. So the way that they're playing basketball, I can't root against undefeated teams. That's just the ex-player in me. You go with the hot hand, you go with what's working. So, I agree that it'll be a test tonight, but, I give them an opportunity to win this game just as much as the Boston Celtics based on the way that this team is playing right now.
And I don't know if you want to look at it as good news or bad news, but Donovan Mitchell did get the last game off for a little bit of rest. I know we live in a world in which that is a very judgy thing that we're going to now tackle, Lou, because I don't have an issue with it. Did you have an issue? Is it bad look?
Not to me. That's the name of the way. That's the name of the game. Either way it goes, even if he was a healthy scratch or he has an underlying issue that may be a nagging thing and they decide to give him a day to work on it, I don't think it's a bad look. Look, you can tailor make your rules when you're 14-0 trying to get to 15-0, in which they eventually did in the game that he didn't play in. They're playing with house money. They didn't expect to get off to this much of a great start. And so when you have guys that have nagging injuries or something maybe going on behind the scenes, you can give them a day. So I wouldn't overreact to this. But again, you do what you want when you popping. They're 15-0. They have the right to do whatever they want. When the Spurs were having these championship runs and guys were sitting down and they would have healthy scratches, as fans, we understood because we knew there was a bigger goal at stake. With this team being 14-0 and 15-0 before he set a game, you kind of give them that leeway to do that because you see the success in what they're doing. So I don't see this as a bad look at all.
Yeah, I'm with Lou here. I think when you have this type of run and you're on a heater like this, you can afford to rest your guy like this because you just look no further than last year where this team was banged up, they were unhealthy, and when they were fully loaded, they were really good last year. So I think in the back of their head, they think, listen, if we're healthy come playoff time, we can compete with everybody. We've proven we can beat pretty much everybody this year already. It's a weakened Eastern Conference, so they're not going to have that many tough physical games outside of a certain teams. And obviously there's going to be some hiccups in the road where they have some bad losses to bad teams, but this team is for real. And this isn't fool's gold. This team is deep. This team is young. This team is athletic. And so it's interesting to see tonight the kind of styles clash. Can they continue to play fast? Can they play at the pace? Can they be as efficient as they've been and be that number one offense against a really good Boston Celtics defense in the half court that's going to slow you down and bog you down? Can Donovan Mitchell have his way with Drew Holiday, who's probably the best perimeter point guard defender in the NBA? So there's kind of some contrast of styles here will be interesting to see because they're both really, really good.
So I know Cavs are obviously motivated. They got all kinds of things going on. Celtics, on the other hand, defending champs. They have a chance here to end this stupid streak, as I'm assuming Celtics fans are looking at it, or maybe they're motivated by the NBA Cup itself. If you're on this team right now, Chandler, what are you thinking is the bigger motivator?
If I'm on the Cavs or if I'm on the Celtics?
No, if you're on the Celtics. Like, what's bigger?
I think they have real championship goals, not ending the Cavs streak, not the NBA Cup. I think they are one game at a time, thinking big picture, thinking how do we get to the playoffs and the postseason fully healthy, and how do we get out of the Eastern Conference as easy as we did last year. So I think obviously that would be nice to end this streak. That would be nice to kind of get a game back from Cleveland, because who knows if Cleveland keeps this rolling up. I know it's early, but come playoff time, maybe these head-to-head matchups mean something. And sure, there's a little incentive at the NBA Cup and going to Vegas and having that extra bonus in your pocket. But I think to me, the NBA Cup means more the Cavs. To me, the championship goal aspirations of winning the actual NBA Finals is bigger for the Celtics.
But you know what, Chandler? I'm gonna agree with you 50%. They don't care about the NBA Cup, but we are petty competitors. They want that undefeated streak to come to an end. You know, that's when you're a championship team, you have to find something during the season to give you motivation. You got to find games within the games. You got to find new challenges along the way. Playing a 15-0 team on your home court, this is a challenge for them, and they're going to look at it as a challenge. I don't think they care about going to Vegas. I don't think they care about any of the. I think they're seeing a 15-0 team in front of them, and they want to prove that they're still king of the hill. I think this game matters to them for that fact only.
Yeah, for sure. And they're looking at the Eastern Conference just like we are too. And they're saying, look, this might be the only team that can get in our way is this Cavs team. So this is a huge statement early on. This is a game to prove that, listen, we're still the top dog. I don't care about your record. I don't care about your start. We're going to be there at the end. So this is a huge game. This is and the Cavs team that's playing probably the most confident and you know, free that anyone is across the league. So this one will definitely be exciting. I'll be tuned in for sure. But I still got to go with the Celtics. I think the streak comes to an end tonight. I think they're too good. I think they have too much to prove as well. And I think they do want to stop the little brother from getting too big for his britches tonight.
Does feel like that, but I don't know, Lou. You think so? What are they favored? 5.5? Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna go against my popular opinion, and I'm gonna go with the hot hand here. I'm gonna give the Cavs the edge for this matchup at this particular time in the season. You know, they found a flow and an identity that works for them. This is one of those national TV games that they can reintroduce themselves to NBA fans who aren't real believers. So this will be a great test for them, but I give them the edge until someone knocks them off. You know, I don't think it happens tonight just based on the way that they're playing, the style that they're playing, the confidence. Everything is just pointing their way. And again, like we said, the Celtics, they look ahead. You know, they're looking for they have championship aspirations, and I'm sure the Cavaliers do too, but, you know, the mission is different. The goals are different. So they're approaching games in a different light than the Cavaliers are at this time of year. But I still give the Cleveland Cavaliers the edge until somebody beats them, which can very much happen.
I know it's early too, but just as a team going forward with Cleveland, you know this is huge for them. Just look, we can beat the bully. We can knock off the best team. So I know it's early. I know it's just one game, but this is a huge game for both teams to prove something this early that, listen, we can beat you, and listen, you're nowhere close to us is what the Boston Celtics are thinking. So it could go either way.
Who would have thought we'd have been looking forward to a Boston Celtics Cleveland Cavaliers matchup on a random Tuesday.
Here we are. I wish it was on last night instead of that god-awful football game. That would have been much more fun for everybody to watch. Sorry, Luke.
Keep starting on that.
Let's keep it moving. Thunder Spurs. That's also going to be happening tonight. Thunder did lose their last game to Dallas. That was only by 2 points. In it though, they were out rebounded 53-29. So you don't have Isaiah Hartenstein. You don't have Chet, obviously, which means your tallest dudes are around the 6'6" mark. That's SGA and Jalen Williams. I don't know what they can or cannot do here, guys. But are we looking at a situation? They signed Brandon Carlson, Chandler, where we got to go find more big man help. I mean, Isaiah's supposed to come back allegedly a week or so.
Yeah, this is frustrating for them because this is obviously their problem, right? This has always been their weakness. There's always been concern as how much can Chet take at the 5 spot, banging with these more physical, 5 legit centers. So this has always been a concern. Then they add a guy like Hartenstein, who's the absolute perfect fit, who actually provides everything they need, and he just hasn't yet been available. So at least they know there's light at the end of the tunnel and it's coming. And I know they added Brandon Carlson. I don't know if he's a permanent fix, but he's going to help just having fouls out there and having some size when push does comes to shove. But this is definitely their weakness. And this is something that needs to be addressed because as good as their small ball lineup is, as good as they are offensively, as good as their guards are, there's going to be some times where teams slow you down, teams just pound it inside, and teams just continue to get to the free throw line and dominate on the interior. And this is definitely a weakness for them. This is something they have to address soon because they're going to keep exposing that. They can't be starting SGA as their tallest guy against these big, physical, rugged teams. So when you look at the matchup tonight, they're playing against a 7'6" unicorn who should absolutely have his way with him tonight. But this is an issue that they have to address, or they got to get Hartenstein out there soon because you also don't want Chet taking that pounding and those minutes just all nonstop as the 5. He's more of a pick and pop stretch forward. You got to let him do what he does. I know it creates some mismatches when you put him at the 5, but it's a long season for him to be doing that. And you can see he's already banged up by putting him there.
They might get lucky. By the way, they may get lucky tonight. There may be no Wemby, so that could be a blessing for Oklahoma City.
That helps.
That could help. But I'm gonna throw something out there, Chandler. Dwight Howard has been online.
Wow.
Big time. Listen, he's big time promoting that I'm available. I'm around. Maybe that's something the OKC Thunder look at. You need him for a week or two. If you're looking for somebody to go out and get some rebounds, that's gonna guard, that's gonna try to rim protect, Dwight Howard might not be a bad look to take a look at this. So I'm just throwing that out there, man.
I vote yes to this, Chandler. He's out there. He's having conversation with Shaq about boxing. Like, let's go.
Anybody sign DeMarcus, sign our guy DeMarcus Cousins. They need fouls.
There you go.
They need attitude. They need an enforcer. As good as they are, as young as they are, they need a mean dude down there to go and foul the shit out of somebody when they need. They don't have that right now. That's the only thing this team is missing.
All right, we got to make this happen. Okay, somebody get an ear, somebody in Oklahoma City. Let's make this happen. Let's look at the Spurs for a second. I mentioned the fact Wemby is doubtful listed with the knee injury. They're 6-8 right now, and their over/under win total is 33.5. Let's just take into consideration what you've seen so far. Are we going with an over here? Chandler, you first.
Yeah, I'll go over. I mean, listen, they've won half of the games that they've played already, basically, and that's looking at Vassell's only played 4 games. Jeremy Sohan's only played 7 games. They made an adjustment, putting Keldon Johnson to the bench. So I do think they have enough, and when this team is fully healthy, they'll be able to compete. So at 33.5, they already got 6. I do think that they can get more wins than that, and I do think the bottom of that Western Conference is pretty weak, where they can sneak in and try and get that play-in spot, and God knows what happens then. But I think they're in an okay shape. But that's a pretty low over/under, so I gotta go over for what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm rolling with you, Chandler. Give me the over. I think this is a team that can win 5 games a month, for the rest of the season. That'll get them at 33 to 38 wins, and they're capable. When you got one of the best young guys in the league, and quietly, we haven't talked about Chris Paul a lot. Chris Paul has been great for the San Antonio Spurs, averaging a high number in assists, keeping them organized, making sure they get good shots. I think he gives them an opportunity to spread that ball around and gives them that veteran leadership that we've been talking about that they needed last year, and with those two alone, I think they can wheel themselves to 33 to, in between 33 to 38 wins this year.
All right, well, taking the over as a team. I appreciate that. Jazz at Lakers. Okay. Look, the Lakers have won 5 straight, so we're going to concentrate on them for a second here. It's the longest win streak in the Western Conference. We've talked about it so much that the roster basically is almost identical, with the exception of a couple guys. What is different then, Chandler? Why have they been inched to look a little bit better right now, at least in this early stretch?
Well, I think that we've said that all season long. They haven't had that adjustment period where they've had the continuity of the same guys, the same role. And JJ Redick, credit, their offense has been a lot better. They are the 5th offense in the NBA. They are 8th in assists. So it's less ISO. It's less kind of one-on-one. There's a lot of ball movement. They create the tone down low with Anthony Davis, who's putting up MVP numbers this year. LeBron James is damn near averaging a triple-double. Austin Reeves' numbers are all up. So I think everyone's kind of found this niche. Dalton KNECHT has been great for them, where this team was struggled big time with shooting. And now you arguably draft the best shooter in the draft, Dalton KNECHT, who's shooting 40% from the 3, who he's really helped their depth. So I think they just kind of created this identity. Anthony Davis has been healthy. LeBron James has been healthy, which obviously those are the 2 big factors that kind of keep this team going. And then just everybody knowing their role. And you can see when D'Lo is the only one that's kind of got out of pocket a little bit here, where JJ has to reel him in a little bit. Rui's taking that next step as a solid contributor. So I think this team has just kind of created this offensive identity where they can play faster, they can play slow, they're versatile, and it's working because they're a top 5 offense team. They're moving the ball, they're playing unselfish, and their 2 big guys are healthy.
Healthy's big, Lou. What do you think? I mean, we're living in a world. We're doing it. JJ Redick, credit. Here we are. It happened. It was a good move. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, you got to get kind of some credit, man. They've been rolling, right? And when you talk about, you know, what he's done with the lineups and everything else, give him credit. He's fiery. He's young enough to understand the game. He was a 3-point shooter himself, so he understands where the game is going. So he's been able to draw up different plays and sets for them to get good shots. And, you know, like you said, besides the D'Lo thing, and I can appreciate it. He kind of tried to nip that in the bud early. Like, listen, man, we're going to play hard around here. We're not too cool for school. We're going to get all of that out of the system if you want to be on this floor and if you want to be a contributor. And so the job that he's done thus far has been great. You know, we were critical early on because we didn't see him have as much he didn't have the experience that other coaches have had. And now that we see that he's still close to the game, he's still got a feel for it and he's having success with it, you know, I'm a fan.
Let's talk about the rookie for a second. Obviously, that's the biggest addition in the offseason, Lou. Averaging 13 points. He's shooting 50% from 3 over 5 games. He's also started the last 2 with Rui out. Started 3 games overall. Should he remain in the starting lineup?
No, I think you still keep him off the bench. You know, they've won 6 in a row, and Rui was a starter for 3 of those, you know, and we have an unwritten rule that you don't lose your job to injury, right? You don't lose your job go out with an injury. So he should very much come back and have his job, you know, especially by most accounts. They've been successful with him in the starting lineup, you know, and if you're JJ, that exposes you to the fact that you found a rotation that works along with your original starting line since taking D'Lo out. So I don't think this continues once Rui is back in the mix. But again, now you know, and now you have the flexibility to go to the bench, and you know you can put Dalton KNECHT in there, and he's going to give you a different look than the other guys. You know, I know we've started this narrative about LeBron yelling at Rui and this and that, and people are excited about those things. But I think Rui goes back in the starting lineup when he comes back.
Yeah, I think it's good, valuable reps for Dalton. I think Rui deserves that spot. They've been cooking with him in the starting lineup, and yeah, they're on a streak right now, and who knows, that may continue. But Dalton KNECHT, he's going to play 20, 25 minutes regardless of whether it is. And I do think when you surround LeBron James with shooting, it makes him even that much better. It creates less help defense. You can't really pack the paint. So when you do have a Reeves, a KNECHT, Gabe Vincent's been struggling from 3, but when you surround him with shooters like that, that just opens the floor for that 2-man game with him and Anthony Davis to be that much better. So I think it's a good luxury to have, just to have this rookie to plug and play and to be able to play with any group and know the sets, and doesn't matter to him. But there's going to be certain games he plays a lot more minutes. There's going to be certain games that he just, you know, he gets the rookie treatment and plays 8 minutes and he's in the doghouse. That's going to happen throughout his growth. But it's a good luxury for JJ to have, to be able to have him who's so versatile, who you can just plug in at any moment of the game.
Yeah. Because you don't want to do what you've done with rookies in the past before. You know, you give them too much too fast. Then your fan base, they start having these high expectations, and he hits that rookie wall, and for 8 to 10 games, he might not give you much. And now you've set this standard for him that he can't live up to because he's still going through growing pains. So, whatever positive that Dalton Knecht gives to the Lakers, I think that's a plus. But I don't think you make that part of your plan moving forward for them to be successful. And that way the fans will stay off his back if something hits the fan the wrong way,
Protect him from the masses. We got another game, Denver at Memphis. Neither one of these teams have won a game yet in the cup. Jokic has missed the last couple for personal reasons. Rumors are saying a baby. Who can know? But they've lost both those games without him out there. So it's kind of crazy. If you punch in Jokic during a Denver game on Twitter, the opinions are wild, Chandler. But basically it comes down to, is this team not good at all without Jokic? That is what has been happening.
I mean, are they good? They're still a solid team, but this is a drastically different team. But listen, Mike Malone is still a hell of a coach. But you take Jokic off that team, yeah, I agree. They're fighting for a play-in spot. He is that impactful. He means so much to this team offensively. Every time I watch him, even when he comes out, the stints he's out, when Jamal Murray doesn't have it going on, when he doesn't have that bubble Jamal Murray look in his eyes, the team is so stagnant. The offense doesn't move as much. They kind of get sloppy. They get down to less than 5 seconds in the shot clock. Every possession is kind of hoist up a bad shot. So I don't know if I just want to, poo-poo on their entire team, because they do have good players and they have a good system and they have a lot of capable guys that can win games. I'm more saying that the impact of Jokic, yeah, they go from a 3, 4, 5 seed to an 8, 9, 10 seed without him, just because he's that.
Nah, I'm looking right now, Chandler.
Uh-oh.
They ain't winning no games without Joker, man.
See? Luke knows.
Yeah, I think they're fighting for a play-in without this dude. I think they are right there in that bottom half, and they're going to have a dogfight first round because they're going to be a low seed. So it would not be good without him.
Yeah, because the one thing that I'm looking at, the numbers don't tell the whole story, but assist-wise, they struggle. Like the leader in assists was Jamal Murray at 7. After that, it's a couple of guys got 3, maybe, 2 or 3 assists. That's where his impact is going to be missing. The ball is not moving. It's not flowing on the offensive end. And as much as he doesn't get credit for being a rim protector, a lot of guys really don't try him at the rim for whatever reason, whether it's their team defense or how they load the paint up. So his impact is there, but I don't know. Seeing him as a play-in without him, looking at this roster, unless Jamal Murray turns into bubble Jamal Murray, man, I don't know if they got the pieces to keep going without him.
Yeah,
well,
it's pretty. They're a top 10 offense with him. They would be a bottom 10 offense without him. You know what I mean? And
it's
again,
almost like he's an MVP. Almost like it's almost like that's the value of having a guy like that on your team. The Jamal Murray of it all is interesting. It's like a roller coaster ride. He's averaging just over 17 points a game, which is his second fewest points per game since his second year in the league. Are we hitting panic button? Because you mentioned bubble Jamal, and I feel like we get to that point in these seasons.
When I talk about Jamal Murray, I kind of tread lightly. It's like talking about the Heat, because historically he's much better in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, he's much better in the postseason, which you love as an organization, you love as a fan. But now when you see the regular season woes and these struggles, you want to see him be aggressive. You want to see him not take that backseat. And there's certain plays where he does look a step slow. He can't get by his defender. It's not that he's lost his game. I don't know if it's just the system or something's changed, but it's pretty much that same starting lineup, same offense, same 2-man game that he's really good at with Jokic. So I try to not judge Jamal Murray off the regular season because he is so much better come postseason time. But yeah, like it's getting to the time where, like, if I'm Malone, if I'm one of the coaches, if I'm Jokic, I'm saying, all right, man, like, we need you to take over. We need you to be more aggressive. We can't just have Jokic having 30 and 15 and 15. That's not the recipe for as many wins as we can. That's not how we won a championship. When they won a championship, you didn't know who was going to be the best player on any given night, whether it was going to be Murray, whether it was going to be Jokic, whether, Porter was throwing in 6, 7, 8 threes. Aaron Gordon, who's been out, he's super valuable for this team. So this team is in a little confusing state. is Christian Braun going to take that step? Is Peyton Watson going to take that step? None of these young guys have really developed into something that I thought they'd be yet. So there's a lot of unknowns here, but when it comes to Jamal Murray, I kind of tread lightly because I trust him in the playoffs more than the regular season, which is rare.
You know what I think this is? Like you just said, bro. Jokic has 30, 15, and 15. You know, like you've played on teams with great players, right? And you know there's a vibe in a locker room when you know their player is going to play and when he's not going to play. And when he plays, you have this kind of calm, relaxed kind of thing go over you like, all right, we're going to be okay. And you kind of naturally, you just take a step back because you know that the big dog is in there. And when he doesn't play, it's like, all right, tonight is my night and I'm going to lace my boots up and I'm going to get ready to go out and compete and have a big game. Is Jamal Murray too close to someone that's so dominant, that has these big numbers, that makes these impacts on games, like that can do a 30 and 15 and 15 on a night in and night out basis? Is he just too close to the fire where he just doesn't feel like tonight is my night that I need to take over? And maybe this is good for him. Maybe this is good for Joker to be out a few games so he can bring that out. He didn't do it. He didn't do it last night. Didn't do it the game before. But, you know, he's trying. He's 6 for 15. I want 6 for 15 to turn into 9 for 20, 10 for 20. You got to get 20, 25 plus reps up at the rim while he's out to get your groove back and get out of this kind of funk of just taking the back seat and being a Robin to the Batman. Like, this is an opportunity for you to show everybody why they love you in the first place. And shit, put your first bid in to be an all-star this time.
And that's, Lou, that's where my confusion is. It's not like Jokic is this offensive ball hogging pig. He's probably the best passing big of all time. Like, you would think the guy's numbers around him would be up. And you hit it. I was going to make a point. Like, we've all been waiting. Jamal Murray's one of the best players ever to not be an all-star. It's not happening this year with how they're playing with those numbers. So like when is he going to say enough's enough? And you're right. When is he going to not take the back seat? And when is he going to learn to kind of be more aggressive through the regular season? Because all these other guards are doing it. All these other guards are averaging 25, 30 games. Now they don't have the luxury or I guess the curse of playing with Jokic. And I guess you can argue maybe that stunts his growth, but I don't imagine that. If there was one player in the world I'd want to start my team with and play with right now, it's Jokic. The way you could play through him, the way you could score, the way he passes, he's so unselfish. So it's hard for me to imagine that he has any negative impact on Jamal Murray's game. I think it's on Jamal Murray to be, like you said, be more aggressive. Hoist 25 a game. Like, they need you to do that. Nobody else on that team is even capable besides you two. Do more of that.
We got to take a quick break. When we come back, some hot headlines from around the league.
Run it up, then run it back.
Well, let's tackle this Sixers situation. They've lost 4 straight. They're 2-11 on the season, tied for the worst record in the league with the Wizards. They were actually up last night, 46-27 at one point, and then the Heat came back, outscored them 79-43 the rest of the way. No Tyrese Maxey, but you did have PG and you did have Embiid. Embiid had 11 points. He played 31 minutes, 0 free throw attempts, interestingly enough. Yeah, look, the East is bad, Lou. I don't know what the whole digging situation can be before it's just too much. Like, where are we on this Philly team?
I think, man, it hurts to say, I think we're there. 2-11. Yeah, like, even if you look at the numbers, they're 3 games out from the play-in. They still have an opportunity, but it's a lot of times you feel like something is getting better. Something is happening. Like, we haven't seen their big 3 guys play together yet, but it's like, I don't know if we will. I don't know if we will. I don't think they're healthy enough. I don't think the chemistry is there. They just hadn't had a realistic shot to build in the direction that they would like to build in, finding themselves at 2-11, Washington Wizards they're tied for the same record as the Washington Wizards. We didn't predict that. We knew that they would have some adversity with the injuries and what Joel Embiid was going through. We knew PG had some banged up issues, and the Tyrese Maxey thing came up. That's the nature of the game. Guys get hurt and they're in and out of the lineups. But at this level, I didn't think so. I thought they had enough talent to compete. I thought they had enough to keep them in that 5 or 6 range until they got back healthy. It looks like the wheels are falling off of this thing very, very early on in this process of this season. I just don't see a bright spot yet. I think they can string some games to get together, but I don't think the rest of the league stops because of that. And so for that, I think they've built too much of a hole for them to get out of at this point. At best, it's looking like a play-in, and that's just simply because of where they are in the season already, man.
Lou, you said it. We're talking about this team with Joel Embiid, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey. They have the same record as the Toronto Raptors and the Washington Wizards. Two teams that are literally trying to lose to get in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. This team with championship aspirations has the same exact record as they do, or worse. So again, I think it starts and ends with Joel Embiid, and he is my guy. And it pains me to even watch him play this year because I know he's not right. I know he's not healthy. 0 free throws. Like you're telling me he's healthy. 0 free throws, first time since 2008, I think it said. Like, there's just no way this healthy. So I stand on what I said, that they need to shut him down. I know he's going to get crucified in the media and whatever, but that is okay because you are just wasting this year. You're ruining your pick. Why even contend and get this play in and then have a middle of the pack pick next year? You have the infrastructure of a great team. Now all you need to do is health. You need to be healthy, and it starts with Joel Embiid, and he's not. So whatever that procedure, whatever that he has to handle, I think he needs to do it now. They need to pull the plug. Again, they are the same record as teams that are literally tanking. Like it's not working. It's not going to magically fix. He's not going to magically heal. The only bright spot on this whole team is that the potential of this big three and their rookie, Jared McCain. Outside
There
that,
you go.
it's a horrible, horrible situation. And I feel bad for Joel because he's going to continue to play. He wants to play. He doesn't want to be tagged as this guy that's soft and he's injury prone, but the dude is hurt, and Ray Charles can see that. Like, he is hurt, and he's not going to magically get better. So chalk it up, get a good pick, but it's a wrap for the Sixers this year.
By the way, Jared McCain was team high in points last night. So that is sort of, it's funny. It's
the year.
Tick tock, tick tock. I love it. I'm here for him.
Can you win Rookie of the Year though if your team has 15 wins?
Yes, yes. Wemby was
all right. You saw my face, Beadle. You saw my face, Beadle. I'm about to say, I wish you would say no. He can't.
I know. No, I would. Look, I try to be genuine and authentic, Lou, and I can remember. Okay, let's talk. The other guys in the East that we sort of were grouping together with Philly for the beginning of the season was Milwaukee, but they're figuring something out here, guys. AJ Green with a 3, bringing them to 199. You get a Giannis big block on Şengün, 19 seconds left, and then Dame. Game winner, 3 seconds left. Rockets run a great play, but nope, slips out of the hands of Şengün. They've won 3 of their last 4, and this, it's the Rockets team that's 10-4 coming into that one. So no slouches. Are we turning a corner here? Are we watching it actually happen, Chandler?
Yeah, first of all, I can't wait till this 2-minute warning or 2-minute review comes out because Giannis fully stepped out of bounds after that block on Şengün. So that's just going to raise hell. But listen, they're in a much better spot than Philly. At the end of the day, they have 2 bona fide superstars that are healthy and that are capable of winning games. And when you look at the Eastern Conference, that it's bad enough where they are going to be right there in the middle of the pack, and they're going to continue to work their way up. They just have to figure out what they're doing on the floor defensively. I know when they made the trade for Jrue Holiday, but that's such a long time ago. They have to make adjustments now. They have the players now to kind of make those switches up. So listen, I think even this last possession too, Şengün was wide open on the slip. So again, we're talking about it. This is kind of the second game I think Milwaukee's won at the end, where literally they're one slip layup away from a devastating buzzer beater on that sideline out of bounds play there. But this team, when you look at it, I think the good news is for them, they're healthy. You got to imagine Chris Middleton's coming back soon, and they have a lot of time left. So when I watch this team, it's not like I'm watching an aging star in Giannis that doesn't look himself. That's how I feel. Like, I feel bad when I'm watching Philly with the way they're looking. I don't feel that bad for Milwaukee. I think they figured out. I think they have time. Damian Lillard came up clutch yet again with a crazy finish for the game. So when you have Damian Lillard and you have Giannis, I think you're going to be in position to win, especially when they're healthy.
No.
Cooks?
Maybe.
Just say no.
Maybe. Hey, Chandler, maybe it's just the rain here in Georgia and I'm just raining on parades, man. But I still don't feel it, man. I'm watching that game last night. This is my problem with the Bucks. They rely too much on their shot-making abilities, right? There's no continuity to the offense. we've established that they have talent and they got guys that can go out and get a bucket, but they just take turns trying to make shots, and that translates to the defensive end. When you're going one-on-one a lot, you don't really give yourself a shot at those big momentum plays that get you going on the defensive end. It took for them to make shot after shot after shot for them to sit down and want to play defense and get back in this basketball game last night. For me, that's not a recipe for long-standing for you just to be a long-standing winning basketball team. They got to make too many shots for them to want to play defense. And for that, I don't feel it. Even though they won three out of the last four, again, they got enough talent. They're supposed to be able to go out and win 40 to 50% of their games, just that alone. But we're talking about championship runs. We know it's a big bad wolf in the Boston Celtics out there. We know what you're up against. I don't think this is enough. This is a great start, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's enough. They just rely on shot-making ability too much for me.
When I look at them, when I look at Philly, I'm not like shut it down, go for a lower pick. I'm like, okay, you have enough to kind of compete. You have enough to get like a 5-6 seed and go from there. When I look at Philly, I'm like, pull the plug, bro. Like, two different feelings.
Yes. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that, man. It's just, I'm thinking long term, right? I'm thinking sustainability. Like, they put that team together to compete for a championship. They supposed to go on a 3 out of 4 game win streak when you have Damian Lillard and Giannis. But for 3 quarters last night, they just passed the ball and watch a guy go to work. Pass the ball, watch a guy go to work. Play one-on-one defense. Nobody is in their help side positions, this and that. I just don't think that's sustainable long term for what this team is built to do.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Chandler, I know you're running off to the airport. Safe travel, sir, from Detroit. And Lou and I will be back in a moment.
Run it up, run it back.
Why not, Lou? Why not a little That Man Has a Family with the two of us so we can just watch greatness? Okay, let me see. Oh, this is going to be bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it was off to a bad start at the beginning.
Yeah, once I saw the words Anthony and Edwards, I knew something bad was coming.
Well, a lot of these highlights, you get set up by the guy that you blow past. We usually talk about the gets dunked on, but Murray messed this up. This is Murray's fault. He wasn't able to.
But we'll never look at it that way.
We'll never look at it that way. And Sabonis, great job making a business. Oh my! Look, you see where these highlights start, Beadle?
Yep.
Look, it's right there, and that is the problem.
That's the problem.
Is he bored with dunking?
Slow-mo. It's fun.
We call it a rim burn. Why did he rim burn?
He's so tall. Like, it's just it's okay.
Now that, my friend, that's a rim fire. That's not a burn. That is a fire.
On headband. That's mean and rude, honestly, if we're being honest.
Here we go.
Let's see. Oh, I like this one.
Okay, Giannis. It's always the first guy that gets you dunked on.
Get everybody, Giannis. Get them all.
I love it. Step through, bang out.
That was mean too. Uh-oh. Oh, see, Chandler would have had something smart to say about this one, but we're going to do it anyways. Here we go. McDaniels on Plumlee. It's never going to work.
Oh, my.
I appreciate you being there, and I appreciate your presence.
This was actually good defense, though. They made him play down into the clock. They made him make 5 dribbles. Somebody got lazy, and it got my man Plumlee dunked on with an and one too. Good no.
That's not right. That is not. All right, this one. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, Kuz,
that
you
was
did
a
the
moment
right.
last night.
Kuz, you did it right. He did the right thing. Chuck him. He hit him in the right spot. This kid just made a play.
You can't save everything, right?
You can't. Not like this when the guy's already on the runway. Yeah, that's a nasty one.
Garden like that. Wait, what just happened? Hold on. What? Well, that's not nice. We just put that in there all rude.
Duncan Robinson has a fan.
Duncan Robinson, and the rib is angry. And, look.
Come on, Duncan. KYP, baby. Know your personnel. Put that against the backboard. That's a big white square up there.
That's right.
Or try this, Duncan Robinson. Do what Terrence Mann just did. Don't leave it to him.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, I like this one. This one and the Giannis one, maybe.
A lot of non-athletic guys getting dunked on in this segment right now.
I mean, his nickname is Slow-Mo, is it not? It's a tough nickname
Yeah,
to have.
I don't
in
even know
sports.
why he's off the ground. Yeah, keep your feet on the ground.
Don't even
This ain't-
bother. I wouldn't.
Yeah, this
Take a
ain't
quick
good.
Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Really, we had a rim on there? Got some more headlines, Blue. Lakers are going to honor ex-coach Pat Riley with a statue. I'll be honest with you, the word statue has become quite triggering, I think, for a lot of us in this day and age. He'll be the 8th Laker to be honored with such an honor. How are we feeling about this one?
I feel great. I'm trying to figure out what took so long. You know, he's one. Yeah, he's one of the original pioneers. One of the guys that was part of the '80s Showtime Lakers. You know, won 6 championships as a player, as an assistant coach, and as a coach. When you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and tradition and some of those traditions that they uphold even till this day, a lot of that has Pat Riley's name and signature on it. So I don't know why he's the 8th. He should have been, you know, somewhere in between the 1st, 2nd, or the 3rd, somewhere in there. But, you know, his impact alone on Lakers tradition till this day, you know, even though he's made a mark in Miami as well, but he's the godfather, and that starts with the LA Lakers. So much appreciated. A little late if you ask me, but very much well-deserved.
What do we think his statue is going to be?
He's probably going to have a suit on.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping.
I'm a betting man. He's going to have a suit on. And, you know, I like how he was depicted on the Showtime series, Winning Time, where he just seems like he was always sweating and stressed out and rubbing his hair back. I would like it for it to be one of those iconic moments.
Just like, what if it's just his hand, like an action shot? Does Phil Jackson get one?
He should as well. He should as well. But, you know, when you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, they have a rich history of a lot of guys that did historic things for their organization. So, you know, if you want to give out statue after statue, there's a lot of really, really qualified guys throughout the course of history that, you know, that deserve this statue and deserve that honor. I think Phil Jackson is also another guy. You know, he put 3 or 4 championships on the board for them as well and helped them navigate through 2 of the toughest big 2 of all time, Kobe and Shaq, and was able to weather that storm and get championships out of it and compete at the highest of levels, you know. And who better than Pat Riley, and to follow that up with a Phil Jackson, of course.
I like to imagine that Pat Riley is on the phone immediately when he finds this out and says, do not get the D Wade statue, guys, whatever you do, because there's no chance that he's going to want that to run that risk. Mm-mm.
You know what? If you look at the Lakers statues, they've done a pretty good job. You know, yeah, like the Kobe one is monumental. It's huge. It's one of the 3 that they're gonna put up. Shaq's is iconic with him breaking down the backboard.
Big.
That's a great one. Magic Johnson's another great one. So, you know, so far so good in La La Land when it comes to the statue. So, you know,
the Kobe one. Here's the issue. The Kobe one had all those spelling errors that they had to go back and correct, which was, you know, embarrassing on its own, obviously.
That's something we can fix, though. You know, we can go out and chisel that out and put the right words, you know. But the face and the likeness of those guys, you get one really good opportunity to get that right. And in LA, they've done that. It did have a lot of grammatical errors, and I forgot all about that. Now that you mentioned
I
it.
remember as a pet peeve person, like it drives me nuts when there's spelling or grammatical errors. And I was like, what are you doing?
Well, you know, Beadle, sometimes in school, you're just good at one subject. All right.
Then you bring in somebody else.
You know, I'm really good at arts and crafts, so I'm really good in language arts. A lot of times, you know, you don't really get both sides of the ball.
The artsy person is supposed to turn to the nerdy person and be like, can you spell check this?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. They were supposed to check that out.
Let me think. Who else would be getting, like, if we move forward, let's go, 25, 30 years into the future. LeBron's not getting a Lakers statue, right? Like, that would be weird.
I think it's down the line. Like, he won a championship.
Sure.
Like, he has won. But again, I think you look at it as the totality of the work. Like, what has he been able to over the course of his career? And also, what has he added to our legacy? He added a championship at a time where a lot of Laker fans and the Laker hopefuls said they weren't competing for a championship. They just were You know, when he went to the Lakers, everybody said, oh, he's retiring. He's about to focus on the business side of everything. He has so many things going on in Los Angeles. He wants to be close to those things. They written this off to a business decision. They didn't even think that they were going to be in a position to compete for a championship. So for him to accomplish that in the bubble, a lot of times people put an asterisk on that, but I experienced it. It would have been a tough championship to have just based on the conditions of everything. And he was able to pull it off. I think he gets a shot at a statue.
How are you going to say people put an asterisk when I'm sitting right here? You know it's me.
Well,
All-star format.
A lot of people that feel like you, so it's cool.
A bunch of haters out there. We're all just hanging out. The all-star format potential changes, all right? So there are serious discussions going on. It would be a 2025 All-Star game, and it would be 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, winner of the Rising Stars game. 4 teams would then face each other in matchups, and the winners then move on to the final round in the tournament. That would be the All-Star game situation. What do you think about? I mean, I like that they're talking about something. What do you think about this?
No, that's stupid. You know, so
wow.
What happens if
and we're done?
What happened if the Rising Stars knock your 8-team All-Star team out and they're the team that's playing on Sunday? You know, people don't travel. Happen. Yeah, people don't travel all over the world All-Star weekend to see the Rising Stars. They'll check them in. They'll check them out as a throw-in on Saturday night. But for that to be potentially the game that you're going out to watch, I don't agree with this. You know, if they want to change the All-Star games, how about, here's something controversial. How about the 24 guys that are All-Stars just decide for the fans' sake just to play hard as hell for one night like you would on any other given night in the NBA?
Boo.
Yeah, it's controversial. It's controversial. But listen, it's one time. I want to see that competitive spirit back. I want to see somebody go out there and say, I'm going to bust your ass and I'm going to separate myself from the pack. I want to be the best player. And I promise you, once you see one guy do that, it's going to be somebody else that's going to take that as a personal challenge, and it's going to be competitive. It's going to give you an opportunity to see the best of the best. It's going to be contagious. I'm telling you, we are petty competitors. Write that on a T-shirt. Write it down. Hashtag it. We are very, very petty people when it comes to competition. We all want to be slated as the best. The moment that somebody challenges another guy, we're going to see it. I think Ant Edwards is the guy that has the personality to do it.
I think we agree.
Yeah, I don't want to put pressure on him to be responsible for the team and what we need, but somebody needs to go out there and light the fire under these guys. And listen, for a quarter and a half, show us why we love you guys so much. We don't want to see the lazy bullshit anymore. It's not working. We're already getting 40, 53s as it is. Give us a great All-Star game.
Do something. All right, so I've got a quick time for a prop party. Go, Lou. What do you got tonight? Cavs, Celtics.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay put with what I said. I like the Cavs tonight, money line. The hot team wins. So I'm gonna stay Cavs, but I like Jaylen Brown going crazy with the point.
All right, I'm taking Darius Garland over on the points. Evan Mobley over on the rebounds. I don't know who wins. I'm not jinxing it. We'll see y'all tomorrow.